Good. Usually I'm loud enough that I don't need this, but I'm going to go with it tonight. Now I'm going to show you how to make a bow. I have about 4 Vannas out in the audience, and Becky who are going to try to mirror me. The thing about that is we all do bows very, very differently. I try to do mine very methodically, measure everything out, get everything ready. But tonight, I'm going to wing it and do it without measuring. How many of you sew? Did your grandmother teach you how to measure a yard? It is a full yard. So if you're without a yardstick, just always, very quickly, it works. It works, it's true. So when I make a bow, first thing that I usually do, it depends on how the bows are going to be used. If they're going to be used on front doors where there's 2, and I want the bow to be exactly the same, I will measure. If the bows are going to be used maybe on the front of a house, and not really side by side, it really doesn't matter, and so I just kind of wing that. But to get started, for those of you who need to see it measured, just trust me right now, it's 3 yards. But I fold my little folds over, and I'm going to do a 3 yard tonight. So when I do a 3 yard, I want to make sure I fold it just like this, and turn it over and fold it. And I pretty much know what 3 yards on a 3 yard bow, this first little piece like this needs to be about 11 inches, 10 to 11. And it's exactly 11. So I'm pretty good. I'm just teasing. But after a while, you just get the feel of it. So, can everyone see? You got this side? Does everyone see? Okay, I will talk to you. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you, sweetheart? One of my teachers, one of my rising stars. So, we're ready. Now, you just kind of eyeball the center, and then you just start pleating it, or just pinching it together until you have it. Now, I'm going to tell you, burlap makes a beautiful bow, but it's not the easiest to work with, especially if you're just beginning. So you kind of, looks like a bow tie. And, okay, test it up, hang on. Just scrunch it back together. Now, you know that you can't fold it like this, because, so a lot of you know that you've got to, what? Twist it. Good group. And this is where the burlap is kind of hard to work with. But you bend it over, twist it over, and then fold it back. Now my friends up here don't usually let their little tie things, whatever, pleats, folds, whatever you want to call them. I like mine to match. I like mine to be even. So gather it again real tight. Hold it real tight. I will probably have carpal tunnel or arthritis before long. But now you come over, your ribbon's already twisted for you, so now all you do on this side is just fold it down. So we've got 2 over here and 2 over here. When making a bow, I try to end up having odd over here and even number over here. You never want, in decorating, you always know you work in odds, right? Now we're back on this side again. We've got to twist again. Melody, you okay up there? Hanging in there? She's way ahead of me. That's not right. I'm a teacher. I saw one of my retired teachers, Miss Pam Booth, over there. Pam, what would we do if a child jumped ahead? We wouldn't allow it. You think I know you haven't. Got 3. The other night, I was working, and a little girl came in, cute little girl, And I said, I'm over here fluffing bows. If you need me, I'll be available to help you. And she said, you're fluffing bows? I'll teach you how to make a bow. And I said, well, baby, I've already made them. And she said, no, I really need to know how to make a bow. And I said, okay, well, let me go see if I can find some scrap ribbon. And I did. And in 5 minutes, I showed her how to make the bow. And she said, okay, I need wire. And I got her some wire. She said, okay, I've got 10 minutes to get to church. I'm teaching people how to make a bow. And I did a bow in my life. I said, whoa, you want to take this bow with you and tell them you made it? But I couldn't believe it. I said, sometimes you're sorry for the things you sign up for. I bet she was hating life about this. So now I'm at 4, I'm at 3 here. And if I find out that I'm going to have the same number on both sides, I just drop it so that I can cheat myself a little bit. So, Melody, what are you doing up there? You're already finished. Take me that way. See, if you had stayed with me, that would not have happened. Common cord would eat her alive, wouldn't it, Elizabeth? Okay, I'm going to tell you, when I make a bow, I have a little signature thing on my bow. So this isn't going to work because I have to have my little signature. So I'm going to drop that one. And that still gives me 4, so I'm going to drop back down. And you're thinking, it's probably wasting ribbon. And it probably is. So since I said that with all the head people here, I'm just going to put that, we're just going to be even on both sides. So now that I think about that, I'll do what's prudent. And now, one thing you need to always learn, because I always learned it the hard way, get your tail ready. This tail, I don't have much left back here from, because mine gets chewed out a lot every day. So always have your tail ready, because when your hand is full, you don't want to let go because you're starting all over. That is the most frustrating thing in the world. So always have this cut and ready so you can just grab it and pinch it up. I could show you another way to do your tail, but I think it would confuse you, and Lord knows we don't want to do that because we want you to go away from here tonight thinking, you know what, I can do that. That's really not hard. I can do that. And you know what, you really can. And if you ever find yourself stumped, come to ACE because we will help you. Now, I have it. It's in my pocket. I'm prepared. There you go. Wear an apron so you can have all your little stuff together. Now, we had Trevor Bay come, who is a designer, big-time designer, who decorates multi-million dollar homes. And he says when you tie your bow with your wire, if it doesn't hurt, it's not tight enough. And I have been nursing this thumb. Oh, look how that fades on you. From making bows and tying till it hurts. So you just grab it as tight as you possibly can. Now my friend Mal here, she uses zip ties, but I just am not coordinated enough to do that. So you twist it around a couple of times. She uses zip ties, and they get it, that works. It gets it really good and tight, but I can never remember which side goes where. Now you see this little piece, that's my little signature piece. And I'm going to take it, and I bet she doesn't have one. You do, good for you, you follow directions. And just, I like a V cut. And it usually is going to stick up. Ooh, burlap doesn't do really well either when you do a V cut. Let's try that again. A V cut. Hang on, ladies.
Not like this.
Well, it still didn't work so good, but we'll work on that later. Okay, so now we are going to separate these, and you just pull them apart. One goes one way, one the other, same until you've pulled those 4 apart. One good thing about ribbon with wire, it's very forgiving. Unless your husband takes the bows down off of your wreath, well, the wreaths down without taking the bows off, throws them in the basement on top of each other, and the ribbon's not as forgiving. Oh, it's just so aggravating when my husband does that. So, now the good thing about the burlap or anything with the wire is that you can shape it and get it just where you want it. Just keep playing with it and twist around. Mel, how you doing? Vanna's out there. How are you girls doing? You keeping up with me? Now these are the girls who say they can't make bows. Jan's probably going to show you how she does her, what I call a Jan bow. To watch her do it, it's the simplest thing in the whole wide world, but I cannot do it. I just cannot do it. So if you want a regular traditional bow, Margot will probably be making that for you. If you want a Jan bow, Jan will be doing it. So I love tails, and when you put a tail on a bow, I always like to go longer because you can always make it shorter. You can never make it longer. So we'll cut another V cut. See if I can do a little better on this one. Melanie, what are you doing? You are a class clown. How you doing? She's done. I know she is. She thinks she's the teacher's pet, but she's really one of those overachievers that sometimes that really know how to annoy a teacher. I'm just teasing. I say that all in fun because I have lots of my mamas here tonight. And you have fun. Do you think you can make your own? No, you can't. It is so easy. Do they look alike? Sorta. No. You put a loop in the middle. You did not do it the way I told you to do it. Thank you, Mel. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. Now, Mel is going to show you some really interesting things that you can do with ribbon. And at the end of the season, I always like to buy a ribbon, and I use it the next year to wrap my packages with. How many of you do that? Use your ribbon. You don't even want to open them, and they're so pretty. Nobody cares what's inside. They don't want to open them. They're so pretty. So Mel is going to show you some creative ways that you can use ribbon to decorate your packages. Okay, cheers. What? You need the mic, don't you? Sorry about that. Cut it off so that I don't.